Damn.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the entertainment headquarters, and welcome to Television Chronicles. So, this is my segment on the channel dedicated to all things television, and there's been a few, shows that have hit and miss throughout the year of 2025. And I thought I'd talk about my favourite show in 2025 right here at the beginning of 2026. First Television Chronicles of the year, and I've got my favourite people with me, or should I say, some of my favourite people here. There's, some others like to have joined us, but they're not available. So we have, of course, Mr. DJ Anubis, DJ Neko of the Metal Tavern Radio, and of course, Mr. Tony of the Dead.
Hi.
So, this Television Chronicles, the first of 2026, is dedicated to my favourite show of 2025, and it has to be none other than Welcome to Derry. So, phenomenal show, but I'm going to ask my guest, Mr. DJ Anubis, start with you. When this show was first announced, what were your feelings and how did you think about it?
Well, certainly I was hesitant because, growing up, the first thing I saw was the 80s TV movie that they did for it. And that one I liked, even though at the time I still loved, like, the book is one of the best Stephen King books I've ever read. Like, it's just an incredible book. But when they redid it with Skarsgård, the movies, I was excited at the time, but they didn't really pay off the way that I thought they might. And so when this got announced, I was like, I don't know. But as we watched it, Neko and I, we really got into it. They actually made it more scary and horrific, and they, added a very good story in there. So it turns out it came out very good, and actually is much better than the movies themselves. So I'm kind of glad that they did the series, and I hope they keep going with it.
Yeah, well, it's planned to be 3 seasons, apparently, over 3 different decades that lead into the movie. So it's going to be interesting how they work that out. But DJ Neko, what was your initial reaction when this was announced, and your first initial, kind of opinion, reaction to the show?
I didn't really care when they announced it because I was, like DJ Anubis said, we didn't really like the new movie. We love Skarsgård as an actor. I love Skarsgård as an actor, but the movie felt really flat. It didn't scare me. I hate clowns, so it should scare me, but it didn't. And I was just like really shocked. So they announced it, and I'm like, whatever. And we waited a few weeks, and we were just looking for something to watch on TV. I said, let's give it a shot because I've heard good things about it. And luckily, I love binging stuff, but we had a couple of them that, so there was like 3 episodes and we watched it and we were hooked. And I'm like, oh my God, we have to wait until next week to see the next episode? What the hell? So we were hooked immediately. And I really did like the timeline, how it was taking place. And at first I was kind of irritated because I'm like, are they messing with the original story? But then I started like doing some research. I'm like, oh, well, that person is meant to be like the uncle of one of the original characters in the book. And then I, as we started talking more about the show, like there was one scene that the clown was kind of like, time doesn't really matter to him. So like he's all in different timelines at the exact same time.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, huh. So they can do a lot with this when he's like, I over multiple planes.
I'll be honest, when that part of the story was announced, that he's in every timeline and every point, I had a question mark about that. Because, like, if you knew that the end was coming, would you not have planned to do something about it? But
you probably can't.
The fact that he knows he's beginning, his middle, and the end because he's in every time frame of every timeline all the time. He knows his beginning, he knows his middle, and he knows his end. So, in my opinion, if you know that, and you are this vicious, interdimensional, extraterrestrial entity, you're going to do the baddest things you can possibly do in the time frame that you're allowed.
Yeah.
Leads us to the fact that Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise in this series is fully just having fun. He's let off the chain and he's more vicious, cruel, and absolutely terrifying compared to the films.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Tony the Dead, the same question to you. Your initial reaction when you heard about it, and your first initial reaction to
well, kind of the same as Anubis DJ Neko. I don't think. I mean, the original TV movie was great. Even the second part I liked. It's not as good as the first, but it's still better than the newer ones that they came up with. It, like I said, it wasn't scary to me. I thought the CGI was like maybe scary to kids, but not for me. Like it wasn't very adult fear enabling, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I really liked that time period, so that made me want to check it out. And being that I like the first part of it with the kids more, I thought I'll check this out. And saying before the show started, like the first episode just throws you for a loop because you're like, oh, these are the kids that we're gonna get used to. Well, I don't know about that. And it doesn't hold back. It's like the whole show. Like there's things you're not gonna want to see. And they don't hold back. That's for sure. And it has a lot of ups and downs, feels to it. I was excited to see it, and then I hated having to wait every week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, though, there's things you don't want to see in this show. There's like some upsetting moments. But the thing is with this show, I guess it was a risk to take risks in this show with some of the content that's in it, but guess what? The risks played off. Like, we're going to get into it with the final episode when we see something happen. I was like, oh my God, I was in tears. I was emotional. I was like, thank you, God, that happened. But before we start, It, Welcome to Derry is an American supernatural horror television series based on Stephen King's 1986 novel It. Serving is a prequel to the It 2017 and It Chapter 2 2019 films. The series was developed by Andy Muschietti and Barbara Muschietti and Jason Fewes, all of whom were involved in the It films. The series stars Taylor Page, Jovan Adapo, Chris Colick, James Raymore, and McKee Carmi Fidder, with Bill Skarsgård reprising his role as Pennywise from the films and serving as executive producer of the series. So this series goes way back into I think it is at 1960. Am I right? 1962. It starts off, yeah. So it starts off as 1962, where a new couple, this couple, come to Derry with their son to start off a new life. Like they're an African American couple. He's starting his career in the army base on this facility with his wife and his young son. And soon as they arrive, the son and people around them, it's a very weird town. Like, it comes across as very basically, as you can imagine, just this really nice normal town. But then you can see this kind of like atmosphere of darkness around the town that you don't know where it's coming from. And then it soon kind of, as the plot progresses, there's a history there, a dark history within the town of kids going missing throughout the years, and it leads to a plot between this young boy meeting up with other school kids, investigating other missing children and events that transpire. So DJ and Anubis, we'll start with you. How did you feel about like the overall, like the beginning of the plot with these kids? Hello?
Sorry, you were breaking up there a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, he didn't break up for me. That's weird.
Are you okay?
So, yeah, I'm okay. Are you okay?
You're not choppy for me.
Is it our internet?
No, I think we're okay. Tony?
It's never
are
you,
there?
is it, DJ Anubis? It's never you.
But what I was asking,
He's
if
frozen.
you can...
Who is?
Kevin.
He's moving for me.
Oh, is he? Let me
Well,
go to
all
Neko
right.
first then.
All right,
Yeah, come to
Neko,
me because apparently my computer's working.
what can we say? Welcome to Derry. So initially,
Maybe
what
we're
did
being
you...
haunted or something.
I think it's okay now. So sorry. Go ahead. Ask your question again.
So the question is,
How big?
yes, how big, Anubis? Anyway,
Aw.
what when the first episode started, initially, what was your first reaction of like the show in general? Like, the first episode takes you through a loop.
Yeah, it's bizarre. I mean, it starts out, differently than you would expect. And so, again, like the thing about this series is it takes you at least 2 or 3 episodes to get in to kind of understand like where they're going with it and what's going to be happening. So the first episode, if people watch this, don't get discouraged because it does throw a lot of shit at you right away.
And it's weird. Like it isn't like
the baby in the car and it just really kicks off kind of differently than you would expect. But as the series goes on, you start to see more and more what they're doing as far as the directors and the presentation. And again, like there's some stuff in there that I would say that I'm not super crazy about, but it doesn't really ruin anything. Like not just in the first episode, but just in some of the other episodes, there's some stuff that I was like, but overall, it's pretty cool. And the first episode is crazy, but again, I was interested and stuck with it, so it's not something that's going to turn you off.
Mm-hmm. So obviously, Matty Clements is this young boy who's leaving Derry. He's standing at the side of the road. Next thing you know, this family pulls over. They take him in. He says, "They go, where do you want to go?" He goes, "Anywhere but Derry." Next thing you know, as they're driving, the family gets more and more bizarre, and then till it just kind of erupts in madness of like the family's so erratic in behavior, and then you get to that point where the mother starts convulsing, and then she gives birth to this mutant baby. Then it cuts to like the new family that's coming into which is Leroy Hanlon, who arrives at the base and the facilities, and there's a lot of racism in this show. There is all pointed racism. So it's a mixture of the madness that you expect from a Stephen King novel, but they do put a lot of different things in it. The thing about the first episode is when you first you have that introduction of this craziness, then it slows right down to the kids.
Yeah.
And and this is the marvel for me, the marvelousness of the first episode. They introduce you to a group of kids that you think you are going to follow from beginning to end of the show. This is all in the first episode.
I know.
So they introduce you to this group of kids. I think this is the right poster. Is it this one? I might be wrong. Let's see. Yes. Yeah. So you're introduced to those kids.
Except for Maddie's not on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this is the reason why. They're not the kids. They're the kids that are introduced. They are the kids that they promoted from day one of this show.
Right.
Every interview in social media, like from television interviews to going on any big media thing, is promote. Each of these kids that you are seeing in front of you were promoted as the main kid cast. What absolutely threw you through the loop is by the end of the first episode, it was either the first or the second one, I couldn't remember, there's the scene in the theatre where they're investigating this Matty who's gone missing, who's a close friend. The next thing you know, bang, they're in the theatre, then the demon baby pops out of the screen and attacks each and every single one of this cast. There's a massacre, a kid massacre, which leads you you are in total shock. And then the next thing you know, this is your new cast. This is the real main cast going forward of this season. So for me, what Welcome to Derry did right from the very first episode, it totally shocked you in a way that you weren't expecting. I know Tony does not like kids being killed on screen, or you don't want to see kids harmed in television, but obviously shit goes down in real life and they have to emulate it to educate people. But this truly, honestly blew my mind.
Yep.
So I'll start with Tony. What was your initial reaction?
I was like, is this really happening? Is this a dream? Holy crap. It was just like that kid's they're it's a fucking mutant baby and they're doing the experiments and that's why it's here. And it's we know it's not, it's it. But they don't. And everything just starts happening. And that girl, she's looking around, you see, taking him up here and ripping this apart, blood. And then I can't remember the little girl's name. And she's and then the thing lands down and eat her or bite her face or something. It's just chaos. And it's oh my God. I guess these kids aren't going to last.
There's an arm. One of the kids' arms was just left, she was holding on.
Yeah.
And it was just an arm.
Yeah, it was, oh my God. I was not expecting that at all. Because you didn't really get used to those kids, but you were kind of like, okay, these are the kids we're gonna eventually start to like, or feel for them.
Well,
No.
I'm at the opinion I generally started liking them right from the beginning.
Yeah, me too. I was like, okay, like the kid was all into science and stuff, and
so I'm not being funny. I think they played us well because I remember when Stranger Things began, I instantly connected to the kids. So I was like, all right, these are the kids we're following. This is the Stranger Things version of Welcome to Derry. And then boom, they killed 3 of the kids. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Not expecting a damn thing like that to happen. And then the next thing you know, I'm like, what?
Right when that happened, like anything could happen in this show. Like nobody's permanent.
Like the difference between this show and Stranger Things is the took risk that paid off in this show. I do believe, as much as I am a huge fan of Stranger Things, as you can tell, they were frightened to take risks of killing some main characters off, because I think the characters became so beloved in Stranger Things, they were frightened to take the risks. Where in this, the difference is you're just starting to bond with the kids. So to kill them off straight away, I kind of understand why they did it. They thought, right, instead of imagine if you bonded with the kids and then 3 episodes in, then they killed them. The fact they did it in the very first episode, and then bang, you're introduced to like a new group of kids. Like these kids are now, main stars. I kind of understood it, but I was still pissed at the same time.
I really the girl in the front, I forgot her name, with the dark hair, who had her dad pass away in that really horrific accident. What was her name?
Oh, are you talking about the main girl?
Yeah, the main girl with the curly hair.
Is it Charlotte?
I just blanked out on it.
No, it's not Charlotte.
I'm terrible with names. I can't remember anybody's name.
No, that's Marge.
Yeah, it's hard.
Is it?
Except Marge and Richie.
Oh,
yeah, I know Marge and Richie. They were so cute.
Oh God, Marge and Richie. They are just.
But what I was going to say about her is
it's I think it's Lillian.
It is Lily. Okay, so Lily's already been sent to an insane asylum, and now she's scared because she thinks she may be crazy. And that one part, I think it was the second episode, because it was like leading into them going to the theater. She hears Matt like down in the drain, like in the bathtub drain, and then she hears the song. I think it was from the Music Man. I'm going trouble, 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 and that's how they all get to the theater, and then shit goes crazy. But like I like how they started tying that all in too, because as we continue and then further into multiple episodes in, when they're looking for Maddie, because they do truly believe, hey, maybe Maddie is still alive. And I don't know, it's a scary show, but it's also like a mystery too. Like they keep putting together clues and they're trying to think outside the box for something supernatural or extraterrestrial. They don't even know quite what it is yet.
Well, the overall plot is you've got the kids that are trying to solve the mystery of their dead friends. And then at the same time, you've got this new African-American family that move in, who one's like a lieutenant who's come in, or he's a soldier. He's getting racial abuse. And you've got, obviously, the introduction of the character from The Shining, who plays a huge part in this, who's amazing, who I think's absolutely brilliant. Yeah. It's Chris Clark, I think I said his name, who plays Dick Halloran from The Shining. he's introduced as this young soldier who has this psychic ability. He knows there's like this darkness in Derry. So the whole show is basically about the young kids trying to solve the mystery of the death of their friends. And then you have the military aspect, similar to Stranger Things, I'll be honest, where you've got this military science experiment interference where they're trying to figure out, they know there's some sort of thing in Derry that they're calling the weapon. This entity that has this ability to bring terror and harm to people, and they want to try and weaponize it. And
what a dumb idea.
Yeah, and then as the show progresses, you do see a lot of.
Does it ever work out?
Well, of course, it never worked out. But then at the same time, you're introduced to like the backstory. You're introduced to characters that do appear in the It movies. So, like, for example, we always knew that It had like, you know, a connection to Derry in some way, shape, or form, and that It, the character It, or what It is it's an interdimensional being that has the ability to cross, that is older than time itself, that lives. The whole It creature is the Deadlights. It's some huge interdimensional being that somehow a part of it ended up in Derry in a astronaut, in a meteorite, hits the Earth. Part of the Deadlight being landed on Earth, and because of that, it then started consuming the life forces of the beings on Earth to keep itself alive. And then there's this one particular moment where the way it landed in a meteorite, there were chunks of the meteorite that spread around, and then the Native Americans used part of the asteroid that it arrived on as a way to create like a ring prison around the town of Derry. And that is the initial story of the being It. But because they've created this ring, every 27 years, the being that is in between the ring and the outside world wakens up, and the Deadlights then set out, like you say, to use your weaknesses, your fears, anything that you are insecure about your own life. It uses against you to then hunt you down and basically suck your life force out to keep itself alive. And then that leaves us to way back in the past, where you have the traveling circus, and we're introduced to this character.
There you go.
Your daddy.
Yes.
Bob Gray.
Mr. Bob Gray is introduced, and it's the first time, you know, and Bill Skarsgård, I couldn't give a shit what anyone says. I am a huge fan of Tim Curry. Tim Curry's Pennywise is always going to have a special place in my heart. But what he does in this character, in this series, forget about the movies.
Mm-hmm.
What Bill Skarsgård did with It in Paranoia, with Bob Gray in It, he literally has made him a horror icon for me now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way, shape, or form outside of Tim Curry, I don't want to see anybody else play Pennywise ever again. And I never thought I would ever say that because of Tim Curry. But he is a good, not replacement, but he's a good new, he's the Pennywise for a new generation.
Yeah, it's a new spin on it.
Yeah,
well, plus the people that did this series, they allowed him to kind of breathe the character more. I don't know what happened with the movies, but
he was flat in the movies. Like the character itself.
When we look at Skarsgård and some of his other films, he's very versatile as a character. Like watching Boy Kills World, he's like way different than he is in, say, the John Wick films or some of the other stuff. So it was nice to see him able to kind of give life to Pennywise beyond just the clown. Like we could see him background and where he came from. And so kudos to the makers of the series that they allowed him to breathe that character out.
But don't you think, though, why he was able to create a better performance as Pennywise in the series is that the creators, who are the same creators as the films, who created the series, is they were doing a remake of the books. You can never make a book completely right in film, but they had so much pressure on them to make good movies because of the fan base of the original miniseries. So I feel it's like they were trying to lure in new fans, but they were trying to be respectful to the book and the miniseries, and maybe because of that pressure, not Bill Skarsgård and the writers and the directors held off a little bit instead of going full force crazy. Where now that the films are out there and they did do well, they did make money, they decided, right, let's do something original and bring Bill Skarsgård back, who is also an executive producer, and let's just let loose. Whether the series does well or fails, let's just go crazy with it. And I think because they had that freedom, and Bill Skarsgård was now allowed to just develop the character in a better way.
Yeah,
I think for me, he's created a much better version of the character throughout the show.
He's also good with kids too. If you see like behind the scenes, like to instant cut, you okay? Just so they're not afraid, because he's pretty scary. I mean, especially where you see him cover, like he's up to here in blood, and then like he's all just red like that. Like it's pretty scary shit. I mean, and the things he does with the kids, where they're like I'm skipping ahead. I won't, but like the phone call toward the end, and like it's just, I don't know. I think his performance in this show, I don't even care if I ever see the TV, or I mean the remakes again.
Movies
again. The movies, yeah. That's, I mean, like I like the original ones. I do want to read the book though. I'm not going to read it. I want to listen to the book on audio because I'm not going to read the damn thing. But yeah, I
it
think
is a lengthy book.
Oh, I've had it. That's another thing I own. I've read up to the part where it's not in the movie, where he's like talking about a girl's vagina and all that shit. So I was like, that's not in the movie. We used to have to get permission from our parents to get Stephen King books out of the library in school.
Yeah, because it was so explicit. Like, there's even a scene in the book where I forget who it was. I think it was the bullies are like lighting their farts on fire and shit. So.
Well, look at the Losers Club right at the end. What happens with them and Bob? That's the part of the book that never appeared in the miniseries, and it was something that was never ever going to materialize in the movies. And I'm quite happy it didn't, if I'm personally honest with you. But as the film progressed, as the show progresses, it takes up to episode 5, where basically this entity's been attacking the kids in different ways, shapes, and forms. So, as you mentioned, the main female character, what did you say her name was? I forgot myself.
Lily.
So Lily has history. Why she had a mental breakdown is the death of her father. And so Pennywise uses, not Pennywise, it uses it against her. And you've got that amazing episode where she's in the store, and then there's the jars of pickles, and then boom.
That was crazy.
You had all that happening, and then you've got the scenes with the soldiers, and all of that, doing like looking around the town, and then they then look into the mystery of the missing friend, and then they discover suddenly Matty turns up. So Matty turns up and they're like, I can't believe you're alive still after everything that happened in the theatre. Everything's crazy, whatever. And then he doesn't, it's really good how they do this, because he come back, he's acting fear, he's acting frightening, he's terrified. He's been through a traumatic experience, but they're confident to prove to the world that this thing exists, because they tried to take photos, but the photos come out and it showed nothing, that they decide to go look for the creature, and they go into the sewers, and Matty's like, I can't go back down there. It's said, you've got to come down. We can't solve this if you don't come with me. They go down and they're lured basically to a part of the sewers, and Matty, they look around, and all of a sudden around them all these little kid bodies pop up, and it's all of the first kids from the first part of the series pop up, their dead corpses, and you're like, shit. And then next thing you know, there's Matty's corpse pops up, and then the next thing, boom, 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 the Matty who they think the follows now circling around this pipe, and bang, it's the first interaction with Pennywise in the new series, and he's absolutely terrifying.
Yeah.
So, Neko, how did you feel about the plot as it developed up to this point?
So that was the part that I started really, really getting. I mean, I was into the show, but like everything was kind of always like anything could happen. And then I'm like, oh, well, Matty's back. All right. Well, he's really not back. And he's really not alive. And this really didn't happen. But for whatever reason, like I just felt so much for that girl, Lillian, because she was dealing with her own, mental illness, dealing with the death of her father. She really had a soft spot for Matty. She knew for in her heart, she thought he was alive, and then he comes back, and then now here we are. And I think that's where the episode ended, right? Like they were there, and he comes at him, or is this a different episode? Am I confusing the two? He comes at him, but then there's that thing in the water. That was that shard of the meteorite.
Mm-hmm. So basically, the problem with Welcome to Derry is there's two plots at the same time that come together at the end. So you've got the kids' plot, then you've got the plot of Halloran's character.
Mm-hmm.
You've got his character who's now, you can pick up the sense that there's this being, or this supernatural being in Derry. So he's there. So the two plots are the one of the kids trying to prove that there's something in the town, to prove that, innocence of the kids being killed, in the father who was accused of murder in the theatre, who they think who committed the murders. They're trying to solve that plot. At the same time, you've got the military that are trying to use whatever this thing is in the town as a weapon, and they're using Halloran to like course it out. And then you've got the Indian, not the African American, so the American Indian tribe, who've lived there, that initially built these shards of meteorite to keep it blocked in. And when Pennywise first appears and chases after Lily, before that scene happened, you had, the nephew of the main lady of the tribe, the Native American tribe. He had this shard of meteorite, and I think the initial thing was he was going to lure the military into the sewers, and then try and kill it by himself with the shard. But things go awry, and he drops it. And then when Pennywise is revealed and chases after her, he goes to kill her. But just as he goes to reach her, it's the place where he dropped the shard of meteorite. And he can't actually kill her because it's blocking him because of the shielding. which I thought was really good storytelling.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm also wondering, so like that is supposed to be part of the meteorite that he came on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So why is it that it's the thing that keeps him in? Is it because they put him wherever he came from? Like maybe he was caged in that meteorite, and then it just like when it got here.
Yeah, my guess is it's almost similar to what Kryptonite does to Superman. So it's something that came with him when he was coming through space, but he was locked in it. But when he hit Earth, it just shattered and let him out. But I'm trying to remember because initially he was kind of trapped within a certain range of the area,
and that's because what we were saying before, like the Native Americans built like those pillars to keep him, and but that's why I'm like, that's crazy. Like that's the one. You're right. Like the kryptonite. Like I don't know. Just
I kind of look at it like the Phantom Zone in a way too. Like somebody put him in there and just jettisoned him out in space, and we just got lucky enough to have him land on our Earth. And
probably
the same thing that could keep him protected protects us, but you know, it's so long ago.
They probably thought he would just go on for infinity up in space, and then we got the present.
Yeah.
But
If that's the fact, though, what put him in that? What is out in space that's so strong that can contain this entity?
Gamera.
Gamera?
Because don't forget, if you've read the books, there is a scene with a giant extraterrestrial turtle.
Oh, is there?
Which is basically the opposite to him.
Well, I know what happened is that Wayland Corp found it, on some distant planet, and then it got away from them.
Don't even bring Wayland Corp into this. Let them out of a movie. Let them out of a sci-fi movie thing.
Alien Earth, man. Alien Earth.
God damn you, Wayland.
Look, I'm depressed now. He's mentioned Wayland, you call me here, for fuck's sake.
Now you put him in a bad mood.
My fault.
Fucking
damn it to hell.
But no, like, and then obviously what ends up happening then is she obviously is protected by the shard. She picks up the shard. But then do you not think it's got some kind of Lord of the Rings elements?
No.
Because what happens, yes, it does, because I'm going to tell you why. Because later on, when Pennywise is revealed, we get his backstory of Bob Gray. We then get the kids, and the military are able to shuffle a part of the pillar and smash it, which opens an opening, so Pennywise is able now to venture out of Derry because there's a gap, there's an opening, which immediately awakens him up after he's been on a killing spree. And then the first thing he does, he goes and he attacks the school, the principal, and all of this. And this sets up the final.
Crazy scene with the principal was like a puppet.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Amazing gore in this show. My favorite scene is basically because there's that racial discrimination in the show, where you've got the black military workers who have got their little base of operations, and one of the hiding out the father of one of our main protagonists, who he's hiding because he's been accused of murder and all the kids and all that in the theatre from the initial first episode. So all of the white arseholes, the white pricks who are racist, they go and they attack this base, and when they attack it, they set fire to it, and everyone's up and roll. You know, the shit goes down. But we need to talk about Marge. Because up to this point, prior to that episode, Marge was a bitch.
She was a patty cake.
She was.
Oh yeah, I like that reference too.
Really trying really hard to find her place.
She wanted to be popular.
As a teenager, like she really just didn't know where she fit in.
She wanted to be a mean girl.
And she tortured the other kids. And then there was the little kid, Richie, who had a crush on her. Even though you only met her once, he basically fell in love with her. And even though she was mean and treated people like shit, he kind of deep down knew it really wasn't her. He was just a really sweetheart of a kid. And then when the attack happens with Pennywise and he kills everybody after he initially wakes up, he basically goes to, of course, that hideout and kills all the adults. He also kills Bob Gray's backstory is he had a daughter. His wife died, obviously under probably cancer or something, and he raises his daughter. Bob Gray is lured because the entity being it sees him as a child who has the figure of a child and lures him into the woods and kills him and takes his place because he knows the best way to terrorize kids is in the shape of a clown, because he knows a clown either brings fear or joy to a child. So that's why he takes the form of Pennywise. But it left a big hole in his daughter's, upbringing, who's psychologically scarred. So my favourite scene is when he first meets his daughter, who's in the Pennywise, the Periwinkle get up, because she is trying to take over her mother's role as Periwinkle after the initial, burn out of the barn, where they're all staying, and he's like, she goes, "Daddy, I did it for you, Daddy," and he has an axe, and he fucking cuts out abusive husband's head off in half. And she's like,
I know.
"Daddy," and she's like, "Daddy," and he's like, "Show me the bow." And so she does the bow, and then he goes, "My darling, I need to sleep now." As he turns, she grabs him and says, "You can't leave me now." And he looks at him, looks at her, in her face, and she goes, "You're not my dad. You're not my dad." He goes, "Where's my father?" I goes, "What happened to my dad?" She goes, "Well, I ate him."
I ate him.
That was freaky.
I love that.
"I'm Pennywise, your dancing daddy."
Your dancing daddy. Like, no shit, that's not your dad, you dumb bitch.
But it's like the fucking eyes are
But the
glowing.
thing is, she was so like scarred.
Yeah.
Like she was willing to believe anything because she truly wanted to believe that her dad was out there. And then, then it's like the biggest letdown of ever.
But I have to say, Bill Skarsgård, when he played the dad, Bob Gray, it was heartbreaking because you could see he genuinely was a nice person and loved his daughter and was, he just came across as a nice guy. And then when he proved he was a nice guy, because when it's the form of a child and you can hear the screaming in the woods, and he goes, "Can you help me find my parents?" And he hears the screams, he holds the entity, its hand, who's in the form of a child, and walks into the woods because he generally is going out there to do the right thing, and then obviously he never comes back. And next thing, now Pennywise is born. So I felt sorry for her in many ways, but Bill Skarsgård he just nails it in this film, in this series. He's like, it's the one-liners, like, "I'm your dancing daddy." And he's like,
he brings that craziness to Pennywise that we liked from the book and from the TV series, our TV movies, because it has more personality. But in the movies, they just don't give him that.
Yeah.
I watched the movies. I rewatched them recently. I still think he's got like the persona, but it feels like he's holding back, like he's on a leash. Where with
Either
the
that, or
scene,
they had stuff for the movies that they didn't use. So if they ever did like a director's cut, it might show some of that, but they just never let it out.
well, it's actually recently been revealed that they do think there is like more footage. There is a longer cut of both movies, the first and the second, and because of the popularity of Welcome to Derry, it's rumored that the directors, which is Andy Machete and Barbara Machete, who are brother and sister, the rumours is one, they're going to re-release them, but with the new footage added, the missing footage. Another thing that is ramming up is that they're in the middle of writing It Part 3. But,
Part 3.
Yeah, they're going to actually do a third movie, which I don't know how they're going to do it, but obviously, you know what they say, money talks, bullshit walks in Hollywood. So if it makes money, they'll just fucking throw it out there and hope it sticks.
Yeah.
So...
Well, that's the one thing with this show too, because I know I said like I don't care if I rewatch the movies again, but because everything's intertwined, you kind of have to, because there's little things in this that relate to, like especially the ending with Marge and that flyer. You know, it's like if you didn't see the movies, you'd be like, "Who's that kid?" So you kind of have to watch it. And they're all going to be intertwined, and then little details like, oh shit, they left that in there. Like I love that kind of stuff.
And it's
especially
also
and the way Marge goes, I'm gonna kill that fucking clown. It's the same thing her future son says. So it's like a little callback, which is nice.
Yeah. And it's also been revealed that Flynn Wolfhard, who plays the kid from Stranger Things, who plays who plays Rich. He's actually announced that he's been contacted by Barbara and Andy, and they're going to give him a role in a future It project
as an adult.
As an adult, so
that'd be cool.
Whether he's like the great grandson of the original character, but obviously he's now older. He was a kid when he did It. So he's now like in his 20s now. So it would make sense if they made him like a relative of the original Richie, the kid from the first It film. So it's going to be interesting how they will, but clearly they have a plan in the mind of how they're going to work it all out. And Stephen King's 100% on board with it, apparently. So going back to the show, as you mentioned, once it's fully reawakened and goes batshit crazy with the kid, the last episode of this show was just dynamite.
Yeah. It was. There was so much gore and action, and just there's so much going on at once.
Like honestly, like from when Marge turns becomes like a character you went to hate to like, and to I have to mention Richie. He was the heart and soul of this show. Like
James Remar was great in his role too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think all these kids did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
So
I usually don't like kids either. Like, oh god, I can stand that actor, that kid. They're all great. All great. Especially Marge when the eye thing.
Oh, that was insane.
Oh, and then she's going with the bandsaw, I'm like, don't do that. Like this, my toes were like this, watching. Oh man.
Like I cannot remember, because obviously Rich, like if you see, his mother Marge is in the It film. Did we ever see her in the movies? I can't remember.
I think so.
Like the adult version.
I haven't watched the newer ones as much as I have the original, but I don't remember.
But I can't remember what I say in the movie, but anyway, what happens is during the Bourne attack by them fucking assholes, and it's done his business and killed everyone. And we have this amazing scene as well,
Hmm.
where he puts her in a coma. Rich, who's only known Maud for a few little while, absolutely loves her. This broke my heart.
I know.
Now, I couldn't give a shit what anyone says. The Emmys and all that shit, they'll probably not do it, but this kid deserves an Emmy. He deserves awards for this. The performance of him in this show was literally outstanding. Like, in the ultimate I remember when the firemen come in and they open the box, and she gets out the box after the building's basically, and then you just see him sitting behind the box. I literally was like, "Oh, I'm done," because I thought they were going to like do something like, "Oh, they've already killed the kids at the beginning." And then I thought, right, they'll not do that again. And I thought, you should look around, he's not there. And somehow he found a hole and got out the building just before it burned down. And he'd come out and go, "Oh, look, I'm here." But the fact that he died, and then he's sitting there, I just, what a hero. What an amazing kid. And then, obviously, as it progresses, Pennywise, now that he's been reawakened because one of the pillars has been removed, he's now having free range around Derry. He's like gathering the kids. He's got like a place, basically a carnival of kids heading towards the exit of Derry. There's this massive cloud that now ascends on Derry after the pillar's removed. And then the Native American lady remembers, we need to get to this point. If we get to this point,
is the last point
before we can fully escape. And Lily's got this shard. That was the shard that was dropped in front of her.
Her precious.
As the shard. She then turns into fucking Gollum.
Mine.
Yeah, basically.
Mine.
Which was just like, what?
Yeah.
So you've got Stranger Things elements in this. You've got obviously all the Stephen King elements, the horror, the gore, the heartbreak. Now you're bringing in fucking Lord of the Rings references. It's like, what? And then obviously Marge is young and she can drive a fucking milk truck.
Well, not very well.
True, but she drives a milk truck. She drives a milk truck to oblivion, basically.
Didn't they say, like, I thought you said you could drive? Like, I've seen it. I've seen somebody driving. So
I think it was that uncle.
Yeah.
I've seen my uncle drive. It's like, well, sorta.
Sorta.
And then obviously they end up finding the carnival of kids. I call it the carnival of death, basically, which is what it is. And it's going across the lake that's now fully frozen over, I think. And Pennywise is like, ooh, and all that crap. And then basically the military's there to stop them from stopping Pennywise, which is fucking stupid, which was the most absurd part of this plot.
Yeah.
They want to use Pennywise as a weapon against the world, but yet he's got a carnival of fucking kids that are entranced. So if he gets out of there, how many kids and people is he going to kill? It's absolutely absurd. And then you have that scene with the commander that where Pennywise is frozen thanks to Halloran, who enters his mind. And I love the fact he got bitch slapped.
Yeah. Yep. And his look on his face too, it's like, what just happened? He's never been slapped before.
Would have, like the military, what would have made more sense is containing Pennywise to a certain way that they would be able to use, not just let him go off rogue, but like that was what I thought was more of what they were trying to do is weaponize Pennywise so that they could be like, okay, we're going to take you over to this country and drop you in and eat up everybody, and then we can use you and control you and pick you back up. But I don't know. It was very odd to me that they just wanted him to go and like destroy the world.
Well, what it was is the
Murder.
command. What he wanted to do is he wanted to use Pennywise as a weapon against the world, so America would become the dominant country. He basically wanted to monopolize the world with Pennywise.
Yeah, but how? You can't control Pennywise.
So
That's why they're dumb.
So
that's why the military is dumb. They think they can do anything. America.
He's like, I'm gonna remember. He's like, no, I let you out, and then Pennywise just like ate him. Like, yeah, that's what he does.
What? And if that guy was the little boy in the beginning,
things, yeah.
Why did he think that? Seeing if he confronted him when he was little, seeing how his fears coming, and I get he's a military man. He wants to weaponize it, but him having the personal experience should be like, we can't get this out of it, let this out of here. We got to destroy it or contain it, not us contain it and take it somewhere. Just that's why I don't. It's not in the movie. It's not in the show, Tony.
Yeah, right. Like it's just without them trying to let Pennywise out, there is no plot. I get it, but for me, I'm like, what makes more sense is if you want to weaponize this, then you have to be able to control it so you can weaponize it against who you want to weaponize it against. It's not going to listen to you. It just wants to eat.
Well, it's their arrogance because they always think that they can control powers that they can't control. That's the story of the government when it comes to things they don't understand.
Yeah, I agree with that. And it's the fact that, like you mentioned, Neko, how I love the fact that he's like frozen like that, and then he goes, "Yeah, I've let you loose. You're free to go." And then he goes, Pennywise goes over past him and he sniffs him. He goes, "I remember you." And he's like, "Just get out of here, get out." And he goes and he does this thing with his face and turns into the old man and the creature that terrorized him as a kid. Next thing you know, chomp.
Yep.
I just thought it was brilliant. But then my favorite absolute scene in this whole series is the fact that the military tried to stop the kids from getting to the last point of escape for Pennywise, to put the shard down to replace the barrier. And as that's going on, the military are attacking. That's why Pennywise had the opportunity to attack the adults. And now that he had that kind of distraction, he's now heading towards the kids. And Halloran's done his best to also stop him, but is now powerless. And just as you think all hope's lost, you then get the apparition of like the Native American woman.
Yeah.
And as she's standing there, you see this young image next to her, and it's Rich. And Rich I literally bawled my eyes out at this scene. Like, he's running towards the kids in slow motion. Pennywise like, ooh, because it's this thing next to him. He's like, ooh, and then like Rich is like, and he goes,
yeah,
and it's like, I was like, fucking yes. And the kids are just about to put the shard in where the pillow was, but they don't have enough strength to do it. Then you see the spirit of Rich like help them, and then obviously at the same time that's happening because the spirit of Rich is ran past. Penny's like, I better get a move on here.
They kind of stole that from the Ghostbusters movie, the not the last one, the one before that, where obviously they took the character from Ghostbusters and added him in there, but that was sort of the similar theme they ran with this.
Oh yeah, Yeah,
The way Pennywise turned into that, like, started like trying to fly towards them, though, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, he turned into bitch Rodan, basically. So, but the thing is, that's the first time, because obviously in the original It Part 2, like not the original, but the remake It Part 2, he's like a giant, he's like out of desperation, he's like this giant spider creature. So he turns into like this big creature at the end to try to fight him because he knows he's at like the end of potentially winning or getting one over on the kids or the adults. He does kind of the same thing, yeah, where because he's right at the end and he's like desperate, he turns into like the most horrific thing he can think of, which is a bat creature, to try and one get to the end, but also I guess to try and fear them. But obviously they get one over him and they save the day.
Yep.
Um,
And that part, that took forever for that, because it's like, oh my god, push the damn thing down. It was like 20 minutes, and they're like, come on, Rich. And finally, I know, I get it. It's a big dramatic ending, which was great, but I'm just like, oh my god, push the fucking thing.
I've had similar situations, but this is a PG show. I'm not going to talk about it. Anyway, Tony, Anubis, your thoughts on the final?
That was great, Andy. Loved it. Everything about it. You know, of course, again, the government can't control it, and then of course the fun that the kids had. Not to say fun, but the fact that they were able to, like, kill or at least get rid of
Capture.
Pennywise and all that. So I mean, it was good. Like that's what made this entire series great, is that it was just well thought out. And again, each character that he has, like you said, Marge, or was it Marge or Maddie? I can't remember which one, but they start out as a character you really despise just because of her shallowness and stuff like that. But then she comes back around and is reliable and one of the better people of the group. So I like it. I like the depth to each of the characters, including Pennywise, and it had more meat on it than the movies did. And maybe we'll see some different director's cuts of those movies that might give them a better thing of how they were first related to the public. But this series did a lot of justice to the entire It franchise, basically, in my opinion.
Neko.
Well said, DJ Anubis. I agree. I remember just, we're watching this, and I'm saying to myself, the movies can't even touch this TV series. They've just really, I thought it was well thought out. I thought it had, a lot of clever things happening. I'm telling you, the one thing I just, how you get like a scene stuck in your head was with the pickle jar scene with Lillian, when they're telling the story about her dad getting crushed up at the at the pickle factory. Like everything was it just all tied in together. And, at the end, you were like, I love James Romero, and I was kind of like, fuck him by the end. But I'm really rooting for these kids because you just really felt for them. They, like DJ Anubis said, the character development was great.
Yeah. Tony?
1 second, I have to cough.
Okay. He's got the rape virus.
I've got a little phlegm. Yeah, I think it ended. What was the question? How did I think about the finale?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought it was brilliant. I loved it. I'm super psyched for the next season, where they're going into the 1900s, early 1900s.
It's actually before this series, so it's weird how they're doing it. So this was in the 1960s.
60s.
So then the next series goes further back, and then the third season, because they're doing 3, apparently goes forward. It goes like after the 1960s. I don't know if it's the 1970s or 80s. I don't know. Apparently, I think the third series like only a few years before the films. So maybe 5 or 10, maybe 5 or 6 years before the films start, which I don't know how it's going to work, because the character wakes up every 25 or 27 years.
27, yeah.
So if it's only like 5 or 6 years prior to he wakes up in the film, so there must be an event that happens that makes him go back to sleep, then he reawakens.
Yeah. Somebody can move a shard.
because they've kind of changed the goalposts in the series, because they've proved even though he's meant to sleep for 27 years and reawakens, he woke up after only being asleep, I guess, for a day or a few hours, because the pillar got moved.
Yeah.
So it proves that there is instances, if he wants to, he can awaken when he chooses to.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I trust them after the first season. I'll see what they come up with. I enjoyed it that much. But yeah, I thought the season finale was great. Looking forward to the next. I loved all the references and shout outs like that you have to pay attention to in this. Like even the sheriff or whatever he is, he's Bowers, which we all know who that is. And it's kind of cool how it's all part of the same universe, and kind of neat. But yeah,
he's the VIP though for me.
Yeah, I honestly thought Lily was going to be one that like would probably get killed, because when she started turning Gollum. I kind of thought, oh, maybe the short days are numbered, but they weren't.
Yeah, and then we have the cliffhanger at the end of the last episode of it goes into the It films, where we see the hanging of is it Bob who's in the films? Oh, my mind's went blank.
You mean the one at the end?
Yes.
Yeah, what was her name? She's. You guys know more than me.
I think it's Bob.
Elfreda Marsh.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she literally she turns her head and she's there, and then you've got the lady who was obviously Bob's daughter, older, played by the same actress who was in the It Part 2 film, who sadly passed away, and she goes, "Hey dear, you should know, nothing in Derry is gone forever." And it's like, whoa. And it's like,
that was a nice, it was a nice tie-in.
Yep.
So, and she actually says that I'm trying It Part 2, where she has that scene and she gets up to make the cup of tea and she goes behind the scenes. She comes back round and she's like the entity that attacks her. So it's great how they've nailed it all together, and it doesn't feel forced. Yeah. It feels like it just authentically, genetically just slips in perfectly well.
Yeah.
So Anubis, if you had to give Welcome to Derry 1 out of 10, what would you give it?
9.5 out of 10.
Neko.
I'd be about the same 9.5 out of 10. Mainly, I think about something that has rewatchability for me, and I would watch it again. If it's hard for me to score something high if I don't think I'm ever going to rewatch it again. This has got a lot of rewatchability for me, so it's definitely a 9 out of 10. I would watch I would like to sit and binge the whole thing together, so I can be like, catch different things that you guys were mentioning that weren't really on top of mind when I was watching it the first time.
Tony.
10 out of 10. I love it.
I was going to say that I can see 2 hands.
10.
What you're scoring it?
5 and 5 is 10 out of 10.
It's a 10. It's a 10.
10 out of
10.
10.
Oh, sorry,
Right.
PG-13. F and 10.
Yes. As for me, I've just said it. It's the show of the year for me. As much as I've bawled my eyes out at Stranger Things season 5 final, love it. This for me was the show of the year, 100%. It was surprising. It was unique. It's not original because it obviously, but they do so much with this that should have been in the films. That this has made the series better than the movies, and it's very rare in instances that happens where you can make a series better than the initial movies, and they've done that with this. And because of that, it's made Bill Skarsgård version of Pennywise a horror icon. And I can imagine the next 2 series he's going to just nail it out the park even more. The one thing that I've heard a lot about Stranger Things is, well, they should have done this, they should have done that. But in my opinion, the reason they didn't do this and that with Stranger Things in terms of character deaths is there's a difference in this show and that show. And the initial reaction to that is this. Welcome to Derry is a darker show than Stranger Things. Stranger Things, unfortunately, became so big that it's because of its success, it's actually a negative to its success. It became so big that if they tried to kill any certain characters, which I'll not name which characters dies and lives, because I know you haven't seen it, the fans would have been in uproar. Or there would have been
an uproar from last season
with Eddie.
Or
Eddie.
But
families.
because he's not like a long-standing character, you can kind of get over it a little bit.
No, I'm still not over it.
But when it comes to Derry, because it's the first season of a show, they basically started off with unpredictability. So because
next season is going to be all different people, so they can do that again. So they can, they can kill a bunch of people right off the bat.
Yeah, so basically because the next 2 seasons are set in different time periods, it's a reset each season. A new set of adults, a new set of kids that can do what the hell they want.
Yeah.
Where it's a whole different show when you're following the same kids over a period of 10 years. And it's not just attracting adults. Like, for example, there'll be families watching Stranger Things. Not everyone can watch Welcome to Derry. It's not like a show you would sit down with your kids. It's a show based for adults and young adults. So I think that's what.
Scary for kids. They would have nightmares.
Yeah, so that is for me what the difference, and that was one thing that was nitpicking at me every time I was saying things online. Well, it's not Welcome to Derry, Stranger Things season 5's failed because it's not doing this, and that, because it's a different type of show. It's like Star Wars. It's like you can kill 1 or 2 main characters off eventually, but you want to see them through to the end till whatever happens. But that's just a little nitpick, man. But what's coming to the Metal Tavern Radio next?
Well, right now it's more just making room for different things. Like, I'm just trying to get situated in the new year. But Tony and I are going to pick up Ghouls of Midnight again. I've chosen a movie called Scared Shitless. And so that's the one we'll be reviewing coming up. But I have some other stuff that I picked up on Blu-ray and stuff like that I showed in my unboxing. I'm going to try to deal with Tony throughout the year. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got on the burner at the moment.
And is that the same for you, Tony?
Yeah, pretty much. I picked my pick is Demon Warp. I never saw it. I never seen it, so
yeah.
Nice. As for me in the entertainment headquarters, I know on the 12th of January, you, me, Anubis are going to be doing the first education of 2020 6, and we're going to be talking about a subject near and dear to his heart, tarantulas.
Mhm.
So,
how about the education on how not to lose your tarantulas in the house?
well, that's
I'm
what
sure we'll
you
be
and
talking
me.
about that.
He hasn't figured that part out yet.
Well, maybe that's part 2 with me and Neko. So after that, on the 16th of January, we are going to be getting together. Oh no, we're not, because I've scrapped that. That's a lie. I'm free that night. If anyone wants to do some shit together, let me know. So on the 17th of January, we're going to be doing the next retro classic movie show, and we're going to be doing, I think, There Lives, which is Anubis's pick. So I'm
nice.
looking forward to that. I believe it or not, I've only seen There Lived once.
Wow.
So this is going to be interesting going back to that. Then the next part on the entertainment headquarters, we are going to the 24th of January, which is a Saturday at 10 p.m. UK time, 2 p.m. Pacific time. We're going to be doing the Gamera anniversary special. So I've had a bit of a reshuffle there. And then on the 29th, we're going to be doing our Into the Darkness franchise discussion on Insidious. Tony's very happy.
I've only seen the first 2. I was just thinking, wow, that's a lot of
I'm the
movies.
same way. I haven't seen all of them. I've only seen the first couple. So
There's only 2 more, isn't it?
I don't know, isn't there like 6 of them?
Was that Mr. Boogie?
well, it has a lot of spin-offs. So you have like Annabelle. Oh no, that's
No,
Conjuring, I'm thinking of.
that's well, there's Insidious 2. Then there's something the Key, and then there's and then there's the 4th one. I'm sure there's only 4. I know
Yeah,
they're doing I think they're doing a 5th one, which they've announced they're going to do
I
a
don't
new
know if I've
one.
ever seen Insidious. Is that the one?
You saw the one with the kid that was kind of in a coma, and then, or I forget what it was, but there's like a demon behind the one dude. He peeks out with a red face.
Yeah,
That's
red
the
face.
first one.
Yeah,
You'll
that's the red
remember it if you see it. So,
Yeah. Yeah, it's known as the red-faced demon in the first one.
Yeah, he was pretty scary.
What's the one with Mr. Boogie?
It's Sinister.
Okay, I liked Sinister.
Oh.
Yeah, and obviously I am in the production of my original movie, which is of course this one, then to headquarters film.
Yeah.
Starring yours truly and a host of bullshit guests, including Mr. Tony the Dead. I'm only joking. That is an amazing art. AI art that Mr. Tony did for me. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for that. I cherish that. But I just had to give a shout out to you, and it looks brilliant. Thank you so much. But anyway, this has been Television Chronicles on the Entertainment Headquarters. Keep loving your movies. Keep loving all things entertainment. Please follow, like, and subscribe to the Metal Tavern Radio, Mr. DJ Anubis, and the lovely DJ Neko, and of course, he's all right, Mr. Tony the Dead.
I'm okay.
No,
My
the lovely Tony
brother,
the
man.
Dead. Yes. Please like and share and subscribe to Mr. Tony of the Dead's channel, because like I say, he's getting into the world of AI. So not only does he make amazing AI art, he also does some amazing AI movie, not musical things. So he's got what's it called? White Trash. So he did a few songs that I've listened to and really enjoyed. I love the Krampus one. That was amazing. He's done some amazing. So please look out for White Trash for some of his original scores. Please check out his channel for his unboxing videos and a lot more. But yes, Mr. Tony the Dead is a cool dude. Good friend of mine. Same with Neko and the same with Anubis. So like I say, please like, share, and subscribe to these guys. And if you want to, please like, share, and subscribe to the entertainment headquarters. And like I always say, please like, share, subscribe, keep enjoying movies, keep on enjoying your television, and we'll catch us all at the next one.